Good evening, everyone. We are a little late to get on the camera. For our work session, we had a exit interview with a previous employee, and we also had a discussion of about a current employee that went a lot longer than we thought it would, which brings us to the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So I just want to, this week, was this week? I think it was this week. I contacted Jason about where T3 is, the vendor that's looking at for repairing the frame rail, and I reached out to him because in my professional job, I've dealt with him before, so I just wanted to kind of say, hey, you know, by the way, because Jason said he kind of got cold shouldered by the guy, so I just wanted him to know that, hey, you know, there's somebody else that is invested here, so just want to let the board know that I've also reached out to them, and I did get a quote back. I think there's a little bit of miscommunication, and Jake kind of agreed of who's doing what aspect of the work to it, so Jay's going to reach out to him. Obviously, he wasn't in today, so he's going to reach out tomorrow and just go over with it and say, hey, this is what we want you guys to do. So, but I just wanted the board to be aware that I did that. So, all right, which brings us to the manifest. We'll do the manifest. Or the treasurer signed payroll accounts payables checks dated May 25th, 2023, as including the following manifest. Payroll manifest, $71,769.71 for weekly monthly payroll. And accounts payable manifest of $48,953.76 for a total of $120,723.47. Is there a second?
Second.
Move second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, and so we don't keep the man any further. We'll go down. I got to think you're here for the driveway bond, right?
I thought we were talking about 50 for everybody, 49.
Oh, we can do that too.
I thought that was on there. I thought that was the reason I was here.
Yep, it is.
It is?
It's not on.
Yeah, right here. Discussion
Oh.
with interim.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought that's what we just came out
yeah.
of, so. All right, so we figured it out to be 42 across the board?
Yeah, well now you've changed that a little bit.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, it has changed now, because we pulled one out of it.
I think we go 50 and
Call it a day.
we find
The, whatever it's gonna
it's
be.
half of what it was now, and it
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
3-ish
Yeah.
thousand, I believe.
It wouldn't even be that, would it? When it's all said and done? If we drop that one off of it and go up 8 cents, probably wouldn't even be that, would it, Naomi?
8 cents.
I don't think it will.
You have to consider the FICA and taxes.
That's right, yeah.
So
Okay,
that sounds reasonable, because we were talking just dollars,
yeah,
which was about $486. And if you were to still distribute that, then you still have to take into the retirement and your payroll taxes.
right.
So that sounds about right.
So about $3,000 shy?
I mean, I don't know what the number, I'm sure Beth gave him the number, so I don't know.
Okay,
I can,
It sounds correct.
obviously we made some changes to it tonight, so I can get a better number, but the conversation I had with Beth, even with the two,
yep,
we could make it work.
okay,
Okay.
Good enough.
all right. So, is that,
She says it'll work and you're comfortable with it, then.
yeah, I would be too,
Manage it.
yeah.
I mean, it's only gonna help us in the long run,
Oh, absolutely.
in my opinion.
Would you make that a motion, please?
That's what I was wondering if we had to make a motion. I'll entertain one. Which, it was gonna be both top and bottom of the hill, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
Well, we
okay,
gotta word it properly though.
yeah.
So do it, well,
Because was it gonna be the part-timers as well, or just full-time?
Part-timers already got theirs.
All right, so just full-timers, okay.
all full-timers.
No, I understand that. I'm trying to think how you'd word that.
And what's the exact money again?
Make a motion now.
I don't have the exact
Oh,
dollar.
how much an hour though, I meant?
It's 50.
50 cents.
50
cents
That's
an hour.
That's it.
This is surplus cash.
Was anybody
This year.
that's received
Yeah.
raise would not be included?
I would say,
So.
You'd have to do you'd have to do both classes of down the hill and,
I just see all DPW directors with the exception, or all DPW employees with the exception of whoever we're gonna accept, and that's it.
I mean, would that work?
So is it, so we're kind of talking over here. If we make a motion on what we talked about earlier today and get that in, and then make a second motion that excludes anyone that has received a raise within the last 24 hours.
Yeah, but you're also talking about the part-timers.
But they haven't
Just
received,
full-time.
They got something.
DPW
Within,
full-time.
within the last
DPW
24
full-time
hours?
employees,
Yeah, I would
with the
say,
exception of whoever.
one person at the,
Are you getting that? Was that for you too?
I was included in the
Okay,
list,
that's
yeah.
all I
you were,
want.
okay, all right.
So I make motion to, give all full-time DPW employees, with the exception of the lead attendant, a 50-cent an hour raise straight across the board.
That sounds reasonable, I think. I think that'll hold.
And we'll explain that really quickly after the motion is made, if you like the motion.
Correct.
So anybody that's watching will ask why.
Yeah, I think that that's fair.
And let me just, and that lead attendant is the correct title?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
great.
that's correct title, yes.
Great.
And you said full-time, so that would eliminate, yeah.
Second. I'll
So
second
I
that.
think that'll hold
And
weight.
you have one on probation up there too. He just started.
Is he gonna get it? He's full-time.
You get it after the
When
probation.
we talked about it before, it was,
But he would get after the probation.
after
Okay.
probation.
He is the other one up there that
Right.
we're talking about.
Right, but he would get after the probationary period.
Right.
so, well, hold on, because then you said we needed those two to make it work. Do I understand what you're saying, right?
Beth came in, proposed this to you guys. And then it was a matter of the two guys up at the transfer station. One of them's on probation, the other one's the lead attendant. So,
It would only be the probation. But he
If
wouldn't
we
get it till
included
he's
them,
off.
it dropped it to 42.
yes.
That's my
Right.
memory.
Yeah.
Yes, that's my memory, yeah.
We're now saying we're excluding the one based on an earlier decision, and the second one is on probation.
So he would not receive it until after probationary period.
But do we even have money for that?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what he was saying
Well, but he
is
had said, you had said that we had to take both of them out for it to get up to 50, right?
Me and Beth talked about it and said that we could get the 50 and make the money work.
Okay.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's what I thought I heard,
misunderstood.
yeah. That's what I heard. All right, so there's a motion on the floor by Benji. It's been seconded by Sherry. We're in discussion mode right now. So I think that cleared up everything. That sound right?
I think the only thing fairness to the public is that this was recommended by the finance. It is surplus salary money that we're distributing to make the pay more equitable across the board, so that they know what we're doing tonight, because
Right.
again, they're not gonna remember. So that's where we are, general
Okay.
public.
Right.
Okay.
Any other discussion?
And where was that surplus from? Because I don't remember immediately.
It was payroll.
Right, yep, okay.
It was your minute taker,
Yes.
after you did your minute
Doing the
taker, there was
reorg.
money left.
Yeah, if we
To
did
rework the minute
more
taker.
reorganization, yeah.
Part-time tax collector.
Yes.
Right, more,
Yeah.
more,
Got it.
from reorganization, again. So, all right, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. And you want to do a follow-up real quick?
So the one person, anybody that's watching that we excluded would be the lead attendant at the transfer station, and the reason being is, we offered him a pay increase since he's kind of in between lead attendant and some sort of foreman role until we write a foreman's job description. So more or less, he got his and a little, and then some.
Yes.
But in a different manner than this, so.
I would agree.
He wasn't excluded from extra money, it just was given in a different manner.
Correct. That's a fair statement. So, all right. Anything else for Jason?
I
Well,
sent
we
you
need to
down
make
the
a motion
driveway
on-
bond policy that you approved. I just took the word draft off it.
Oh, okay, all right.
We need to make a motion on the lead attendant, right?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Salem's inquiring motion on the lead attendant
Yeah, you would have to.
bump.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have to do
yeah,
that.
just, I just wanted,
Yep.
I'll do it. I'll make a motion that we take the lead attendant at the transfer station to 22 an hour, and this supersedes any prior agreement.
Okay.
Second.
Moving
Is
seconded,
it- is it-
discussion?
Is it gonna be, the 6-month probationary period be put back on it, I assume, right? No,
He
no.
just eliminated that
Yeah,
in his motion,
in his motion.
Okay,
We're doing that right now, today.
okay,
Yeah.
capping.
okay.
Right. Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? There it is. That's done too. All right, so driveway, did you read our draft?
Can I just ask, yeah, okay, go ahead, let's do this first, and then I'll ask before you leave. Okay, sorry.
I did not. I've been off for 3 days.
That's true.
Well, it's the same one that we put on the paragraph
Okay,
and
did-
shared them on 5/8.
Yeah, so you guys had talked about making a bunch of changes, and then we kinda didn't make changes, so
We didn't make
it's the same-
changes. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Same thing.
We're just gonna lock it in.
Yeah, fine.
Well, I think that what the board consensus was is that it may, what we wanted to go over was the fact the Board of Fire Wards is gonna go off the table.
Exactly.
So we just need to rewrite
To
one.
amend it again.
We have to amend it to figure out where their regulations are gonna go. Is it gonna follow the planning board, to us, to zoning, who knows? So I think but as of right now, it's gonna stand today.
So you got something to go by.
You got something to go
Come
by.
winter time.
Right, so,
Well, yeah,
all right.
Well, even now, when you tell them they gotta pay them.
exactly.
All right, I'm gonna move that we approve the driveway bond policy dated May 8th, 2023, as written. Is there a second?
Second.
Moving seconded, all in favor? Yes?
Yes.
Kevin, you all set?
Yes.
Okay. All right, you want us to sign just one copy, right? Mm-hmm. All right, because I got the draft too.
Somebody handed you down the draft, I did.
Yeah.
All right, we got the driveway policy done, we got that done. We gotta do that. We gotta write the advertisement, eek, okay. And actually, are you here for East Shore? Or no?
No,
Okay,
I've already done these, sure.
all right, so it sounds like Kevin's got one more thing.
Yeah, I just wanted, I think we need to, just in your next visit to us on the 5th, could you be prepared with an update on the bridge?
Yep.
Okay. And then probably, we probably should update the committee members. Thanks.
I ran into the welder on Sunday.
Yep, yeah, I had a conversation with him
Yeah.
already.
Yep. Good man, so, okay. Is that it?
That's all I have.
You got anything for us?
Just-
I got a couple quick things, if that's all right. I know it's a work session night, but,
As long as it's quick.
We got 12 minutes. 12 minutes, he's got 12 minutes he can serve.
Yeah, we got a list too.
chip coating,
Yes.
we've had the same vendor do it for,
3 years? Is it
No.
3 years or 4 years now?
No, since I've been doing it.
yeah,
Can you-
Since Thorndike.
Hodgin,
I mean Hodgkin, yeah.
8 years.
yeah, probably 8 years.
Okay.
I don't think anybody else has put a bid in on that.
Sounds like a sole vendor to me.
Yeah, it's up to you guys. How do you want me to do it? Do you want me to go out, or do you want me to just have them do it?
I mean, I think the product speaks for itself.
They've done a stellar job.
Yeah. Does the board have any,
Well, one of those technicality things I always did, I don't know,
Yeah.
even know if anybody else does it. There's a little caveat, I don't know how much is left down there. Really, it's not Jason's problem, but they had a mistake a few years ago and double hauled in the pile of chip. So,
we got a pile of chip?
well, yeah, technically it's theirs, we don't pay for it till it gets put out, but, I mean, if they don't do it, then it's somebody else's chip down
Yeah.
there, so. I guess I think that's
How
what he's
much-
going at is
Yeah.
it's gonna go over the
much money-
silly $5,000 that we require bids for, so do we
How
want
much-
him to put it out?
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. How much money are you putting on the ground?
Over $5,000.
It should probably go to bid.
Yeah.
Probably go bid, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Just for formality, it should go to bid.
That's fine.
Not to say this board won't choose the vendor that we've used in the past, but I think formality, because you're probably putting, what, 60,000 on the ground?
75.
There you go. So, probably ought to be bid out.
Okay.
It's up to you, 'cause it just, I would recommend that you include the crack ceiling.
Yep. Yeah, and I'd make it known, I asked Benji probably a month ago that we sit down and have a conversation about what his plan was, and we'd come up with something between the two of us, what we both thought was reasonable, and we did have that conversation, so.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Ben.
I guess the last thing, that same company, I've talked with a few DPW directors, road agents across the state about dust control and where most of the state is going towards now, and I know Benji was working on this. Going to more of a liquid instead of
dry.
the flakes.
Dry flake.
So I assume that's gonna be under the 3 quote kinda setup too. There's not.
We're buying a sprayer. Is that the plan?
So they would essentially give us the equipment to start off, we pay for the material, and then if a pump broke further down the line, we would pay for it to
Is
replace
this the
it.
same, is this Allstate or that other company?
It's Allstate.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a company I worked with, was working with every time I got close, salesman quit. So I
Yeah.
started over again.
Yeah,
Okay.
Same deal, it's a good deal, I think.
It's a good deal.
I mean, it's like a dollar. Last year, the gentleman I spoke to said that they were like $1 and change a gallon last year. They said they were coming up closer to 2 this year, so,
Welcome to inflation, yeah.
yeah.
But I mean, what are we paying for a bag of flake? It's gotta be
I don't think we've bought any in.
a couple of years.
4 years now.
Couldn't find none
Yeah,
2 years ago or last year, and I don't remember.
Okay.
It was 450 ton, it went up to like 875.
That sounds like you're gonna be doing more than $5,000 for roads, for dirt roads in this town.
yeah,
So what's the liquid? Is it the brine?
essentially.
It's just a calcium, or calcium or mag, whatever you
Calcium
do,
or mag,
mixed
yeah.
with, so the way they do it now is they put the flake out, looks like snow, salt, put it out of a salter, and either water behind it, or I used to try to pick a day right after it got done raining and use the humidity and
Sure,
Stick,
whatever.
yeah.
But,
Yeah, I'm real
and
familiar
it,
with calcium chloride.
it's an okay method, but
No, I
they
don't know.
they
if it's-
almost, I don't get sold the new stuff very easy, and they had me sold on this program because the pumps and all that stuff was there, so something
Right.
burned up.
Yeah.
Someday that little sander that you use will not be there, and
Well, we
I-
already had to change a gearbox this year, and that was the last one on the
they
shelf.
told me that it was the last one.
This year.
So, they absolutely would cringe if you ever put flake in a side dump. Tim did that on P3 and it just killed it in a year, so you're gonna have to think about something different someday.
So I think this is the thought.
So
like
is
I
it
said, liquid.
they give you the equipment and then what happens if it breaks? What did you say?
So if a pump breaks, it would be on us to replace their pump, but it's essentially their equipment.
Oh, we would replace their
Yeah,
pump?
that's what I thought he just
There
said.
it-
Oh,
But it's their
There-
tank,
There was
their,
another salesman that came in, I don't know if it was the same one that you were working with or not.
So this is a tank the size of
middle
the
of
back of our truck,
yes.
Yeah.
that it sprays.
They give you a silo to mix in, or how do you mix it?
So they give us a tank for the truck, and then they give us a storage tank.
Yep.
that's a lot of capital to
They just
just give
come
us.
in and,
They fill the storage tank, or they give you the dry material and you mix it?
nope, they come in and fill the tank.
Oh, that's a lot of capital, honestly. A tank system and a pump system.
'Cause that's a super stand-up company, so I wouldn't worry about them, but is there any way you hold their feet to the fire knowing how much product's in the water?
Yeah, no, that's all information that I can get from Bruce for sure, he's,
Knowing him, I know that they're not crooked by any means, but,
Be nice to know what's in it, yeah.
yeah, 'cause I've seen companies
talking
got
about
quite so wrapped over,
concentration?
hired in, I think they just had water on it, so.
Yeah, it's possible.
You're talking about concentration level?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
no, I like that idea, Jay.
yeah.
yeah, it's just a matter of finding 2 other companies that are fairly local that
If
do
you,
the
if you,
same thing.
if you can't, you can't,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I ain't saying with chip coat, you put it out what's legal,
Yeah.
in the paper and online.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it bid, but if you can't find anybody that's apples to apples, then you got one bid,
Okay.
so.
$2 a gallon.
Said they were going up towards that.
Did he give you a rough estimate what you'd use gallons this time?
I haven't talked to him
No, okay.
too much in depth about it first, I don't wanna
Seems like a
Put the
gallon
cart before the horse.
couple square
Yeah, I
feet.
don't wanna, he already
Could be expensive.
kinda came down and talked to me about chip coating.
Okay.
And I said I wanna get a little bit more information, so.
Yeah.
Go crazy, but I know that they've been the only ones doing it, so.
Okay. All right.
Good
Jay,
enough.
is there, just so we can get a comparison, you know, what the square footage a gallon of their product does compared to
Flake.
Flake?
I'll get that. I don't know
Yeah,
it off
like
the
if
top
a
of my
bag
head.
of Flake does, 50,000 square feet or whatever, a ton of Flake that's 50,000 square feet, and that costs $800,
And 500 gallons of product is
does what?
Yeah.
Exactly.
for what
We
money?
put it on ridiculously heavy and had the budget, and you could get it. We tried to do like a mile a ton, which is over what they recommend, but then
Yeah.
you didn't do it twice.
I mean, our budget passed this year, so our gravel road maintenance
It was there.
came up.
Oh,
so-
good, finally, right.
And there's 14,000 there now, and I
Good.
believe that's what you were getting your calcium out of that line.
Yeah, I don't think
I
it ever
remember
passed
that.
while I was here, so.
No, I don't think it
all
did.
in that.
So,
Yeah, there was only like $1,000 there.
Right,
Previous.
I was pulling out a road recon.
Okay.
okay.
That's good, I'm glad you got that.
Very good.
Awesome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it. What?
1 minute.
Yeah. See at the bottom it says plus? I think we're gonna be a little plus tonight. We don't have, is there anything to,
Yeah, sorry.
no,
We're signing the driveway bond, right?
we already did that.
Did that.
I'm just now between the East Shore email because they're getting ready with the saws and the DPW director
Did you
position.
guys get out and look at that?
I went, that's why I was 2 minutes late, that's why I was driving up.
Okay.
You wanna do that now?
Yeah, we might as well do the 80 and 84 now.
80 and 84?
Yeah, so we're gonna discuss the email regarding the trees at 80 and 84 East Shore. The two that have been down there,
I
Opinions?
just drove by and I didn't walk right next up to him and hug him, but I guess my opinion didn't change any in the fact that if they're footing the bill, to me personally, it doesn't matter. To say they're a hazard or they aren't a hazard, I'm not gonna put my name on that.
okay.
I'm sure they want them down because they're sick of tree limbs and needles more than a hazard, but being on the town side for so many years and having people bark at you that I'm kind of in a situation, my job now, somebody doesn't like the trees and we went down a road where town's paying to have them cut. Usually that's what happens. They harp and harp and harp and harp until the town ends up footing the bill for them eventually. They're offering to do it, so.
That is the true fact right there, offering to take them down.
It says, "We're requesting to cut the trees in the right-of-way between our properties at
Okay.
our expense.
There
Please
you go.
review the attached letters and pictures at your earliest convenience. We
Okay.
have 3 people scheduled to cut the trees on the 31st May 2023. We'd like to get them all done on the same day. Thank you." And it's the 2 families.
Okay.
There was some
I guess-
pictures, and then there was a couple of letters.
I guess I don't have a problem. The only two stipulations I would put with it is A, just like if we hired a contractor, I would want to see some insurance from their tree
Yep.
person. Liability, if we have to be listed as additionally insured or whatever, just in case, one goes wrong way, wind blows, and next thing you know, it's on a house. It came off our property. And 2, I would just want, I don't care if it's Tony or Jason or somebody, once the job is complete, just go down there and put eyes on it.
Do we have to, I would assume, send a letter saying that we gave permission to cut them, sign something, I assume?
I think if we make a motion on that, I think we
Okay,
could,
as long as public, okay.
I think that would suffice it, huh?
And have Naomi reach out, and like you say, you want proof of insurance. If she
Yeah.
reaches out and says, hey, the board said,
Yeah,
Right.
go, but you need to give me this document, and then it's.
That's it.
Before you
Yeah.
can do anything.
right, before a saw goes in the lower
Yeah,
tree.
and now, just a question, they're your trees, what do you do with them?
Well, I think they get rid of the mess and everything.
Yeah, if they,
Let
yeah,
them
I don't
take it.
want anything to do with it.
Were they pines?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure they're full of iron, I'm sure they've had 12,000 bird feeders hung on them, so the value, there won't be no value on them.
Yeah.
So the tree
12,000
company, I need an insurance certificate from them.
Yeah,
They are big.
To,
Yeah, they are big.
all the limbs, the trees, the debris
Full
is
cleanup.
full
Full
cleanup.
all clean up.
And then once it's
Off of town
complete,
property.
Jason or some representative will look at it?
Our representative will inspect, yeah.
Remove the rototiller and wheelbarrow and stack of old
And
lumber.
I mean, I think the right-of-way needs to be clean and free,
Yes, I would agree.
because there is stuff on
I-
several of our right-of-ways.
I would agree. I would agree with what Benji's saying, is this is probably a convenience factor more than a safety factor, given what we see on the outside. And I think that if we're doing that on our side, that we ask for a little bit on their side. They can clean up our right of way a little bit.
Looks like they're expanding one, they can have, must have a little storage in their garage, they can put their.
Right, so,
So I have 4 things,
yes,
if you make that motion.
okay.
Yeah, the only thing we looked at this 3 months ago, Jason and I, and it appeared they didn't need to come down. They're using our property now as storage, as part of their yard, meeting somewhere's halfway. My only fear would be that we're creating a precedent. They're opening the properties up because they're dark and they're lakefront homes and they want sun. They're on the wrong side of the lake to get sun. And with people now looking for sun for all kinds of reasons, including most solar, is that people don't start approaching us about, we'd just like to take 20 trees off of town property so that we get more sun onto our solar array. And you did it for them, so why wouldn't you do it for us? We'll pay to have them cut down. It's really just, it's a convenience factor for them. As Ben said, I don't think there's any risk of these trees becoming dislodged tomorrow. They're all gonna die eventually. There is the fear that someone drives a steel nail in the bottom of them, and
They're hollow.
10 years from now, we have a dead tree, and then we are gonna own it.
Right.
You know, there's people that do that
Well,
all
I
the
think-
time.
I think in a different application, I think we've addressed that on a case by case, and, I mean, it's a little bit different, but Class 6 roads, you
I
know.
think it's worth just noting that this is a case-by-case issue.
I would agree.
We're not setting a precedent.
That is correct, absolutely.
And if they take these trees down, it's not gonna cause an erosion problem with the water running down toward the lake?
Not unless they stump them.
Yeah, which the stumps,
They need a permit to do that.
Yeah, the
We're
stump- the
not-
stumps will stay.
We're not agreeing to stump them.
yeah, the stumps will stay. Is that fair? That the stumps will stay? You can
Yeah.
cut them down to the ground, but the stumps will stay.
Yeah, because we would create a problem there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want there to be a
Okay.
problem there right by the
They
lake.
do have a sizable excavator on the site next door when we visited.
Okay. So you said now we have 5, right?
No, I just said, tree company insurance with town as additional insured. Once job complete, Jason is to look at it. Debris to be completely removed, stumps to stay, I just added it to there. Clean up right away, personal items
To be
need to be
removed
removed.
from the
Right,
town
right away
right
has
away.
to be accessible.
Yeah,
Correct.
So what enforcement mechanisms do we have, or do we need to add anything to this?
I was just gonna add that. I was gonna ask that. Do we want to put a timeline on the removal of the personal property?
all,
Well, it's cleanup, and what happens if accidentally information's conveyed incorrectly and they do grind the stumps up?
Well, maybe we
You
should
know,
put it in
not even
writing.
Worst case scenario, but what do we have to back ourselves up?
Put it in writing. Right, Naomi?
Well, I think if we have it,
But my point is, how do we enforce whatever's in writing? Like,
Yeah.
You know.
Well,
yeah, if they do.
go back in
If
30
they-
days and just take a look.
If they do grind, well, that's why I want Jason to go
But
down and
then
take a
what?
look at it, but if the action's already done, then what do we do, right?
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah,
They're
if-
responsible for any
we have
problems.
that, we
Right,
have that
but
power to
what?
fine or whatever?
I don't think we do.
Like, well, that's my question is there already something in the law that we can go and say, you broke this agreement, or do we have to put something in that says, if you haven't cleaned it up, it's $100 a day? If you screw up the stumps, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
$1,000, like, we gotta.
You're responsible.
By the way, because of the lake, is there any do we need to get permission to cut stuff within a certain amount of feet of the shoreline? Yeah, we do, I think. I really do think that.
There may be.
Shoreline
Yeah.
protection.
Well,
Shoreline
like,
protection.
Because they're already cutting trees, so have they already done that?
No, the trees are cutting up.
Every camp there's got a pile of trees.
But if they have,
Yeah.
they're not on our property regardless.
They're not on ours.
Yeah, we gotta be careful.
They can break their
of
own
that.
law,
So I
but we
think,
can't break our own
I
law.
think though, very good point that, I believe there is shoreline protection.
Yeah,
So if we're gonna allow it, then we're gonna look at shoreline protection.
Or we need proof
Yeah.
from them.
Well, yeah, so we'll need them to do a little diligence, but, yeah, shoreline
No,
protection,
we're not paying for that.
no.
Yeah, so the line would be no tree work to happen, or all tree work to happen in compliance with shoreline protection, whatever,
I like that.
something like that.
Whatever it
Just
is.
need some sort of proof of it.
Which I
right?
think would then, if they do, honestly, if they're that close, I think if they disrupt the stumps, I think there's gonna be DES involved.
Yeah.
So, I think they'd
Would it be up to
big rates
them?
and
How do we know that what they said is a thing, right? We get a letter from DES and them requesting that, or, I don't think we should put in the effort to it. If we-
Oh, no, I don't want us to put the
So all
effort
tree
into it.
work to be done within shoreline protection guidelines? Is
Sure.
that what you're asking?
Yes,
Yeah.
I
They're
was,
gonna take them, say it was.
yeah, well,
But yeah, I guess so.
It's on record.
Right,
on record,
okay.
Yeah, that we,
so.
So if we're using the DES as a backstop for the enforcement of stumps and whatnot.
I mean, we
I'd
can
like
reach
to
out,
say,
I'm sorry.
you know, if we're doing, I'd like to add some kind of enforcement for the cleanup. Say, go out there after 30 days, and I'd say $100 a day if you haven't cleaned it up. Just,
Give them 500 a day.
So
I
debris,
just,
to-
Make it hurt,
I don't know, I feel like we need to
they'll
put
do
debris
it.
into some of these things.
are you talking about the debris or all the stuff in our right of way or both?
Both,
Everything.
The falling and the,
yeah.
Okay.
I think
Personal
both is
items.
plenty reasonable,
so you want to broaden it up and say, within 30 days, the right of way will be clean?
yeah.
Yeah.
And that would be, that'd be tree fall, that'd be
Personal items,
personal items.
Yep.
tree removal is contingent upon,
Yes,
shoreline
Right.
protection.
okay,
Yeah,
It's
and they can
contingent
decide,
upon
it's not worth
all,
it.
all debris and personal
items,
property
Yep.
removed from town right away.
yes.
After a 30-day period,
I think code enforcement should go out at that point.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's not under Jay's.
That's not under Jay's purview.
no,
Jay just wants to make sure the stumps are level and call it victory.
$100 a day fine will be implemented.
Until
Some
area is clear,
Some
until
motivation.
town property is clear.
Does,
Some motivation.
does that hold weight, though? I don't know if that
I
holds.
don't know.
I don't know if that holds legal weight.
I
don't
think
know.
I'd want to read the shoreline protection information.
I'm talking the fine. I don't know if
Yeah,
we can
I guess
enforce
unless
that.
Unless both parties have signed, and we're not doing that.
No,
Yeah.
so I think
Yeah,
that would be
that's fair.
hard to enforce, but we could definitely say cleaned up in 30
It's just
days.
tough to say, yeah, like, we give you our blessing, and then they do whatever they want, and then we're kinda standing here like, well, you got your trees and we got nothing.
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, Tony might have a set of rules where people can have stuff on town property that he can
Yeah,
work on.
right. And maybe, and if he already has a set of purview, which I'm sure he does, I'm sure there's gonna be something. You can't just put something on town property and leave it there.
Somewhere in Tony's rule book say that, I mean,
I think the zoning ordinance talks about any violations like $275 a
If
day.
the road to the
There you
land,
go.
we could go get it, and someone.
As long
could-
as something
could
legally
use
backing,
it
I'm
to
good with
sell
it.
their property. Or we could charge rent.
I guess it just, trying to talk to Salem's point as far as enforcement. I don't know if Tony has rules and go by it. I'd almost think that he could say, hey,
Yeah.
says right here, you gotta get your crap off our property, but I don't know.
In the zoning
that.
regs, maybe? Yeah, yeah.
Because he'd be the guy to go enforce it.
Right.
And then, so while he goes down there, then everybody's right away needs to be cleaned up, because
Should
there's a
be.
lot others that are using
Yeah.
the
I
same
agree.
thing.
Oh, I know.
There was a hot tub in the corner of one, there was,
But somehow we'll have to notify all.
Well, I think I mean, we're opening
they're stretching it.
we're opening a can of worms down there, but I think it should be slowly peeled back.
Maybe that's
How
something.
how many right-of-ways are there
We got a few
on
of those.
around the lake
Is there
that we own?
10 plus each side? There's a sliver down each one between each lot.
Yeah, because what it did is it gave,
People in the
those
back.
guys could share it, but it gave the ones across the road
Right.
Access to the lake.
Access to the lake,
I
right,
don't remember, I thought there was like
We
6
need
or 8.
repelling gear for this one.
which is fine, but you still have it.
Down.
It's still there.
Yeah.
There's still something there, right?
The ones
So,
not handy.
I agree, Naomi, I'd clean them all up, but I think that
That's a
we're
bit-
notifying this person in our tree letter.
right,
Probably that office will have to start sending some emails or certified letters.
Probably
out.
should
Right.
send a certified letter out to all the,
right,
all of the
I think in
people
that
that
case,
use it.
it does set a precedent for the better.
Right,
right.
yeah,
So,
send them to everybody on the street.
right.
I guess for this motion, right, the trees, to go back where we started.
I guess, yeah, I think, yeah, it's gonna be a wordy motion, that's for sure. Because there's a lot of stipulations with it. So, I guess I'll take a stab at it. I'll move that we allow, the residents at 80 and 84 East Shore Drive to remove it's 2 pines, correct?
Yes.
The 2 pine trees on the town right-of-way with the following
At their,
stipulations.
at their expense, right?
Yes, they're gonna remove the trees at their expense. With the following stipulations. A, to follow all shoreline protection regulations. B, to leave the stumps in place. C, to remove all
Personal?
tree fallings and personal items from the right-of-way within a 30-day window of the 31st, because that's when they're taking the trees down. A follow-up, I think we're on D now. A follow-up inspection to be done by the DPW director after the trees have been fallen. And E, a follow-up inspection from the code enforcement officer to make sure that all items have been removed within that 30-day window. Oh,
And additional insurance.
oh, and F,
I have a tree company insurance with town as additional insured.
be provided before trees are removed, or trees are cut. I think we hit all of them.
Yeah.
So,
There's
that-
only two.
There's
Yeah,
only
so-
two trees, but we got.
All the items.
We
all
got
the
6
different-
items,
so
6
to-
bullets.
So I don't want to digress a whole bunch and end up messing up everything Naomi's writing, but I thought maybe to amend it to say that, you said the 2 trees, but just the 2 trees indicated by the email we received.
Okay.
Just so it's like,
The 2 trees listed in the email from
Yeah, 'cause-
whatever date it
I
was.
think there's more than 2 trees.
Okay.
and then, you mentioned the date, and so what happens if their tree guy says, I can't do all this in one day? These are right next to this new construction.
Well, that's why I said 30 days of
Yeah.
from tree
So-
removal.
So are we, in this, I don't think it did, I just want to make sure that did not specify that tree removal had to happen on the 31st. We're giving them blanket approval to do that, but all the cleanup and all that has to be done 30 days after the 31st.
Correct, that's what I meant, that's what I meant to say.
I just wanna make sure-
That's what I meant
yeah.
to say, yeah, because
And I think you did.
their crew's coming the 31st to
Yeah.
whack them, that's why I said the 31st, you get
Yeah.
30 days after.
Yeah, but if their guy says, oh, I can't actually get till next week, we're still approving that, but cleanup still has to be done within 30 days of the
Yeah, they can
31st.
clean up where
Yep.
the trees, yeah, yep,
Right.
yep.
Okay,
It's a crane job, right?
Oh, I'd assume.
all day, yeah. All right, I think it's pretty well nailed. Is there a second?
Second?
Moved and seconded.
All right.
Is there, call a vote, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. All right, so that's that.
Okay.
All right, we're 15 over, but do we, yeah, the easy ones, yeah, okay. Do we want to write the advertisement for the director position? Or what do you guys feel is the priority right now?
Just from work.
Building inspector or DPW
Just
position?
from building inspector today, to me,
Okay,
I know, keep saying we ain't stringing the
interim.
interim out, but I think he's okay for a little bit. I've heard from a lot of people that don't have enough time
Okay.
for the busy building season
All
for
right.
what we're offering for.
Then
And I
let's-
understand that that's all we can offer. I'm
Yep.
not saying that nothing against the person that's doing it, but they're not happy.
Okay. All right, then let's do it.
Just one quick question, just, I want the board, is, are we totally committed to the advertisement, or is there, we promoted from within recently at the fire department, we have had the interim director now, we know what we have for an asset there. Before we go through the process of bringing people in here, is it just the process, or are we considering promoting from within?
I think both. I mean, I think certainly considering, but I think we should go through the process.
To go along, to caveat what you're saying, the fire department did do a process.
Okay,
They did select an in-house, but they did do a process.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, I
I
think it's
just,
gotta go
again,
back.
I'm trying to get I know Ricky has stated, and Jason has asked us that we're about 2 weeks away from posting. We're not gonna be 2 weeks away from posting, we're 2 weeks from our next meeting right now if we skip this topic. So and then we're probably gonna be anywhere from at least 2 months through the interview process. So I'm just curious about what this timeline looks like. You know, we're gonna be
No.
September 1st before we
Yeah.
actually ready to make a decision.
Well, again, I mean, it does say plus or minus on the bottom. I mean, if we can work it, we can maybe make
Yeah,
both
We don't
tonight.
have to, I just, again,
Well,
we're gonna have to communicate to Jason
Mm-hmm.
that now we're,
So, so we did write the.
Description.
Description, right?
yeah,
I,
it's done.
and I don't know, I'm sure I was the furthest from writing the fanciest ads, but I wrote a lot of them. Isn't it just as easy as making sure that Naomi has everything in place that she needs to hand to people and say that we could write something
I
up
think
in
it's-
5 minutes, but get the details from,
Well, we did punt a little bit from the job description into the advertisement saying, oh, like, in the job description, we said you will acquire,
X, Y, and Z
but we did not say time period. We said, oh, we'll just put that in the ad.
in the ad.
I mean,
And then the other
You'll
thing,
get, you know, how we made like, you know, what we want at the end, CDLB.
Yeah.
That we, to Salem, it says, yeah,
Yeah.
we'll put a window on that. We haven't discussed a window as far as, you know, if you don't have it, you have a year, you have 6 months, you have 90 days, whatever to obtain.
I guess couldn't that, I guess if we haven't written it, we can't do that, but.
Right. So I think that, to
Because the
Sam's point,
advertisement, it could go out pretty simply, but yes, if we haven't detailed all
do
that.
we have to, and we do have to agree on the compensation range, correct?
that's correct too. We have not talked about that.
I don't know if we researched it a whole lot.
I don't believe we did, so.
That's what I mean, that's a big topic.
And
So I don't think we're gonna get to that tonight, Ricky, I just want
That's
to
fine.
get a feel for everybody to understand. We have a few things we have to tackle there, right? We have to keep communicating to the interim DPW director on what the timeframe is. We have to be prepared for the timeframe, and we've gotta really do some head scratching on what is the value of this job now that we have structured the job the way we have.
Correct, yeah, which again, we haven't talked about any of that.
No, and in the previous board, there were numbers thrown around that were crazy if we didn't restructure it.
Right. Or at least define it.
Right,
And we've now defined it, now we gotta put a number to it,
okay,
so.
all right, I'm good. Let's
Okay.
move on to,
well, my only small response to that is, I think you said you don't want to, you know, drag our interim along. I totally agree, except I feel the longer he stays in the interim position, the stronger his application is.
I thought that too.
So,
I mean, he's gonna learn.
it's not a
as he
bad
goes
thing
along.
for him to,
I don't think it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't think
And
it's a
we're
bad
not
thing.
doing that to do that. too. I
no,
mean,
exactly.
He's being I guess I wish he was here.
No,
He
it's-
talked about people that didn't hear. He's being compensated, he is learning for a job
Yeah,
that
he's
he
learning.
hopefully will put in for.
Correct.
And, you know, because, and so, I guess when he asked support and see, that's where my thought was without explaining it.
Yeah, that's-
right?
and that's fine.
The job's getting done. We have this other one that the job's not,
Getting
Get it
full,
done
yeah.
like it ought to be.
Like it ought to be, yeah.
Yeah.
only because of the amount of building.
yeah,
Okay.
I agree 100%, Ben, it's only that we do have a history
Yep,
of not communicating back to the people.
Yep.
And kicking the can down the
We
road.
make- We make a decision here, which sounds all good to us, but then we don't tell the person it ultimately affects.
Correct.
So who will be informing Jason that we're probably more like a month out from posting the job?
I would request Kevin do it.
Okay.
Does that
As
sound
long
fair?
as
Why don't you
as long
just
as
bring him
somebody's
back in
gonna
at
do it.
our next regular meeting?
Because I think, well,
It doesn't matter.
to Kevin's point, that's another week ago. That's a week,
I don't-
that's a week ago.
Yeah, and I don't
But I
think-
thought we said we weren't gonna do anything about posting probably till June anyway. I thought that's
Well,
what
no,
we
well,
discussed.
but I think that,
I
again,
wouldn't put
Yeah,
any
I mean,
dates
that's
on it. I
Kevin's
just,
point.
we had it written for tonight. We're not accomplishing it. It's gonna be a minimum of 2 weeks before we talk about it again. I
we'll
think,
try to put it at the top if more stuff don't come, right?
I think the
June
man's
5th is pretty-
entitled,
it's
I think the man's
getting
entitled for
filled up already.
some communication is all. And I think that's Kevin's point. It's just, hey, we didn't get to it, we're doing this, et cetera, rather than
And
radio silence
and we feel
and nothing.
confident doing that because we have faith in the job you're doing as interim.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, oh, no, he realizes that. Again, it's just,
Here's one of us tells me, you tell him, I'm telling him whatever. Yeah, we'll just tell him we haven't forgot about him. We just need to find more, we don't know the pay, we don't know,
And we need to find more time.
yeah, so.
Every night,
I
so.
think we need to get some of these,
I doubt we'll resolve it on June 5th. That's all I'm saying. I doubt very much.
I would agree.
June 5th is not a working session.
okay.
We don't have a lot on June 5th, though.
That's fine, that's okay.
No, I know, we could put one like this on there.
Because we'll have plenty to fill in with it.
Is anybody willing to take a stab? And I'm not at all volunteering. I'm hoping somebody else will. I will not volunteer to take a first stab that we can draft off of for the jobs, sorry, the
Building.
ad for the DPW director.
Oh,
Where it's kind of your wheelhouse, Ben, would you take stab at it?
Yeah, I'll work on it.
Okay.
And we'll leave blank the salary and.
Yeah, exactly. And, I mean,
I
maybe,
think the whole thing got 1 year to obtain this, got 1 year to obtain that. I think that can be, we need to do it before we post the ad, but I think that can be in Naomi's packet or whoever's
Yeah.
gonna hand the packet, right?
but I think we
So
still
we ought to
need,
need to work on that.
we need to establish it. Yeah. All right, so now we're on to the building inspector.
We started working on it here.
Yeah, yeah, we have the draft, right?
Kind of, we took out code enforcement off of that and just called it building inspector, and we
That's
went to
kinda funny.
25 hours, and I think,
Did you
wasn't,
not send it to you guys? I sent it to you guys, right?
No, not for advisement.
no,
I don't
what we
believe,
talked about,
No,
I didn't get it. But I have the one that we crossed out on here.
that was the posting.
Well, it was a posting for the job, yeah.
I guess you need to fix that.
Oh,
Here, I can,
I forgot we'd even wrote it.
We changed to 25 hours. right?
yeah, I can, I did your changes.
$30 an hour.
Evidently, I just didn't hit send.
I wasn't throwing it over there. Oh,
Do
there it
you,
is.
does anybody think it's worth, under examples of essential duties, just to note that we'll meet regularly with town administrator? Or does the building inspector receive supervision from the town administrator? Are we leaving that line as written? Is that enough to cover it?
I think so.
Okay, I just wanna make sure that that line of communication stays open so that we,
Mhm.
because that seems like where the breakdowns happen. Okay. and so-
Yeah.
Do you want me to, cause I didn't pick up all the changes, but I did put together, cause we talked about changing you took them out of Fremont,
So is that one in your right hand, the
Yeah.
current?
and then I
Alright.
did this.
I'll go make copies. I need a break. It's two-sided.
Two-sided.
So the ad,
And then the
we gotta
advertisement.
decide before we put it in the ad then, right, is the
This is updated though.
compensation? It's pay? Or do we have that wrote down somewhere?
No, we don't,
Do we know?
but we have a rate, I think.
I think it's ready to go if we just forgot to pay. Did we have an idea on that, Naomi? Do
We
you
have $30 an hour for 25 hours a week, that's all we got money for.
know? Oh, that's, I
That's
didn't,
how you-
I didn't have wrote down what we're
Yeah.
paying at all, so,
Yeah,
good enough.
yeah, and we kept crossing out the code enforcement officer on the one we had, because
I think
that
I got
was
mine.
repeated several times.
I think I got it.
Yeah, the other thing is like this should be gone. Then on the,
Oh, yeah,
then on
yeah,
the
yeah.
back page, we said he needed a driver's license, or he needs his own vehicle, or something like that, possession ability to obtain.
I don't know, I don't remember
Where's the
exactly,
revised?
but we
You
did
got the right
cross
one?
this out too.
Yeah, you
The
got
building
draft one,
inspector.
you got the right one. Where did you get it?
I don't know.
Computer?
I could've sworn I sent it.
Yeah, I had it.
We crossed that
made-
out.
I usually the one without the
I
paper,
would've
I'm
crossed-
privileged.
I could have
Copy has
overlooked
to be
it
crossed out
because,
too, because I'm pretty sure you,
Yeah, I don't have it.
hey, while we're waiting for Ricky, can I ask you a question on the emails? What is that?
Proof point?
Yeah,
Everything funnels into proof point, and then you have to approve it and release it. So it could've got hung up in proof point, if you haven't.
Oh,
all right, that, I did not understand proof point. Proof point's been going to the trash.
Kind of spam filter,
The original.
but it's really aggressive.
oh, it is,
isn't
yeah.
it? Yeah.
Oh, proof point?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I've been just deleting it.
Yeah, every day they,
Every day at like 6:05 or something like that. I'm on the way to work, I hear ring, I go, yep, proof point.
wasn't listed there.
so this was draft one that I sent, but, I didn't take off the top code enforcement officer. I did make, it appears, other than assists and prepares the budget. I took out what you had,
Added and subtracted.
yeah,
Okay.
I make everything, but, oh, why?
No, you think they put the dollar amount in there anyway, to approve them to put it in the paper and get going on it, right?
Yeah, I think this one's a little bit, looser and probably easier to put in than the DPW director, right?
She has a number budgeted, so that's easy.
That's easy. We already talked about it anyways,
Yep.
so I think that's,
What, do you guys remember why we took under supervision? We'd crossed the building inspector, code enforcement officer, whatever, receives supervision from the town administrator. We crossed that out, but now we have it back here. So
No,
I don't
You
know.
crossed off to code enforcement officer.
cost
'cause
of
you're
code
not-
enforcement.
You're
I think maybe you got a little, maybe you got a
Oh.
little scribble aggressive.
Because you only took off code enforcement.
We're just taking code enforcement off because
I know,
this
I've
is
done
just
it
building
everywhere
inspector, yeah.
else. Yeah.
So are
Still
we
answers
going
the
with the
minister.
CIS preparation of annual budget for the
Who-
office?
I think they should,
Yeah, who the assistant?
no, they assist the town administrator, I would think,
Assist and prepare for the office in conjunction with me.
Okay.
yeah.
You're okay with that, the way it's written?
I'm okay with it.
Okay.
Okay,
Actually make them do it and then we go over it, so.
all right.
Right.
We gotta line up the verb tenses. Assists and prepares.
Yeah,
Very
just put
good.
asset prepared.
Okay,
Where are we putting the, dollar amount?
Okay, so now, you don't put on this.
Wouldn't be, it would not be on this, it'd be in the,
It'd be in the
ad.
advertisement.
Yeah,
Right,
this was all gone.
correct.
you're right, you wanna go with the flat 30?
Working
or
knowledge
you wanna
within
go
New
with the
Hampshire.
range based on experience?
Yeah, I don't know. We gotta
I,
decide before we interview, but
I think we should, well, yeah, I mean, I think that's the number.
Sufficient.
we can do between 25 and 30 unless we just don't wanna do 27.70.
2775, whatever the hell it is, yeah. Well, I mean, I've seen it,
If we go less than 25, probably won't get nobody anyway, right?
that's what I'm thinking, yeah. For a part-time, I think honestly, to try and get any attraction, I think you ought to just put the number out there.
Okay. I'm okay.
I think so anyways,
Good enough.
yeah.
We'll find a spot for it and send
You
it.
okay with that, Sal?
Sorry, we were looking at some other edits. So like the minimum qualifications, it mentions driver license twice.
We got rid of that.
Yeah,
No, it's still in here.
Yeah, we need a driver license.
yeah, you
No,
got it
it's
twice.
redundant though, it's
It's on
redundant.
two
It
lines.
says you hold, and then it says ability to obtain.
No.
So I think that holds needs to get scratched.
Well, I think what it should be rewritten as is holds valid driver's license for type of
We
vehicle
pulled that
operated.
third line over. We were good with that
Oh,
third
okay.
bullet, and then I think that second just needs to go.
Second one needs to go, yeah.
I
Yeah.
guess I don't like the idea of ability to obtain, they gotta have it.
Yeah, possession of
Just
a valid driver's
Just
license.
put a valid driver's
Why
license,
don't you just take
period.
out-
Well, I think just take out or ability to obtain.
Yeah,
Take
they're
out-
gonna
Possession-
have a driver's
Take out the
license.
third line.
They could have a driver.
Right.
Why don't we just keep the second line, holds a valid driver's license, take
Yeah.
off the third
Because
one?
you guys were adamant about the type of vehicle they were gonna drive.
Yeah,
Ah.
yeah, because we were talking about that before, so holds a valid driver's license,
Well, I think still scratch that, but then possession, it's exactly what you said. Possession of
A valid driver's
a
license.
valid driver license. issued by the city.
Because you don't get lesser of a valid driver's license than driving a.
So if I take out number 2, and then the number second bullet's now gonna say possession of a valid driver's license issued by the state of New Hampshire for the type of vehicle operated.
I like it,
Yeah.
Sure.
I like it.
What happens if he has a valid driver's license from the state of Massachusetts?
It could be from any state.
Well, I think that was okay because, well, where did it go?
I like keeping
About
the
like they had to
second
live
one.
nearby.
All right,
Because
so,
then they'd have to live in New Hampshire, so they'd
Yep.
have a New Hampshire driver license.
I like getting rid of the third one, keeping the second one. Only reason I'm saying, I mean, we got a pickup which is Class C, and I don't believe there's a lesser driver's license in there. So if he has a Class A with triples, then he's qualified to drive that pickup.
well,
Yeah.
if we gotta put my dirt bike, get on a job site.
Can you get a motorcycle license without a driver's license? 'Cause mine's
No,
a-
that's an
Mine's an
endorsement.
endorsement,
That's an endorsement,
so you gotta have driver's license to start with.
yeah.
So the valid driver's license covers that little pickup out there.
So,
I'm sure of it.
so we're gonna leave number 2 now and get rid of number 3.
Yeah.
Is that what we wanna do?
Sure.
Yeah, that's good.
Leave.
You're gonna reprint this, because now we're scratching
Oh, yeah, we're
stuff
scratching all
out.
kinds of shit out, yeah, but that's
So
fine.
then, yeah, there's another code enforcement officer that needs scratching. The duties of
Yeah,
the building inspector.
Where's that?
The bottom paragraph, it says duties of the code flip it,
Oh,
right there.
Oh, yep.
It says
Yeah, and I'm-
duties of the code
I'm
enforcement
cheating
officer.
off Sherry's notes, and she had the whole paragraph scratched.
Because
Yeah.
it didn't apply, that's
Yeah,
for,
The code enforcement officer, we don't need one, it's not him, it's a different person
right.
that does it, so that's why we scratched that whole thing.
I think that's why we scratched
So
that
duties of
paragraph.
code enforcement, that's not on this is for the building inspector. This isn't for Tony's position.
Right.
And then, yeah, because
So all of that
duties
needs
are
to
covered
go.
by the above section, the
Right.
example of essential
Right.
duties.
Oh, so, yeah, we X this
I-
whole thing then?
Yeah, we did.
I ask though, if we want to keep one bullet in it.
Which is
The last bullet, submit suggestions to the planning board for changes. I don't know, I'm just asking.
I don't know.
Because if something is grossly noted, I would want them
Well, would he go to
to
the,
say it.
would he go to the code enforcement officer to
He
do
could, he could, I just. it
That's
does- it
his
does- it does-
job.
Yeah, that's fine.
Share an office.
If the board wants to eliminate, it's fine, I just something that, you know, the see something, say something, I kinda wanna leave that caveat in there, that's all.
Yeah.
Could slide it up under essential duties.
Yeah, and that's all I was saying, just take that last bullet and slide up to example of
Okay, so we're
essentials.
gonna cross this all out and leave that last one, right?
That last bullet just slides up.
Yeah,
You good with that, Naomi?
Yeah, whatever.
she doesn't care,
You have-
she's
this
not
is-
doing the job.
There's a reason you left this in here?
Because I didn't cross it off my draft.
Okay, that's fine.
But is there anything else in there that
Oh, this here,
we're hatcheting that's
Just
gonna
this.
affect
I'm gonna keep-
how you
keep-
use this person?
Well, there is some involvement with the health officer, town council, and the court on occasion.
So should we leave bullet 3?
You know, you're never gonna capture what everybody does.
No, but, I mean, if it's already here and it's well-written, which these couple bullets may be, it don't hurt just to slide them up. If
You
it's
had it
already a Word
before.
document,
You
right?
had it, this was yours before.
See,
Right.
see, now that I look at it, there is a couple, response to complaints in coordination with the select board's office, there could be some of that, if somebody's unhappy.
Under the building inspector term?
Yeah, if somebody
somebody's
complains
unhappy-
about
Yeah,
building
okay.
something.
Sure,
Alright.
if you condemns the building.
Okay,
We had
so,
one of them on East Shore, as a matter of fact.
Right,
Where are you now? Where are they now?
exactly, right.
That's picking up this one and this one.
We get rid of the title that's underlined, duties of
And
code
you could
enforcement,
just put
just
it
add
all
it to,
examples, essential
yeah,
duties.
add it to that.
So
I
just-
crossed the whole thing off now, but I think,
If
you
just
know,
took
you
the
get rid of
title.
the second bullet and get rid of the,
They should
I guess if we
sign
don't do
permits.
sign permits, just get rid of those.
Article.
Building inspector does?
Article, whatever,
Does he occasionally deal with sign permits?
yeah, he'll have to, cause Tony's only part-time too, so occasionally he does.
All right,
Sign permit comes through with a site plan
okay,
for
so
the
we,
business.
okay, so
all right,
basically
so
just
the
get rid
only
of the
thing we
second
get rid of
bullet.
is the second bullet then.
I think the second one you can get rid of.
Second bullet and then
So you're gonna keep the
the,
sign permit application on?
Well, it gives them the opportunity, it's not like, that's not my job today, somebody
Right.
else can do it.
Yeah,
so the only thing we're getting rid of is the second bullet and the
The
Duties of
header,
the-
the header, yeah.
yeah.
So with the sign permit, what role is ultimately responsible for that? Is it
Well, we have a zoning ordinance that tells you how big or little your sign can be, how many sides, where it can be located. But I'm saying that there's times that they both get involved with it,
Well,
really.
What I'm driving at is, should that be an assist in? Because I don't wanna have somebody show up and they think, oh, I'm gonna be doing this as my, as a
Job,
duty. and then-
Assist with,
And then somebody else in the building says, no, that's my job.
right.
And really, would it be the building inspector's responsibility to issue the permit, inspect the sign, and/or send the application to the planning board? Or,
I mean, you probably could get and make it defined.
well, what I was thinking is like to Salem's point, you know, assists with issuing sign permit applications by.
who does issue them right now?
Tony issued the last one we did.
By evaluating applications for compliance with the sign ordinance. I'm not saying that they shouldn't, but I'm just wondering if, you know, if it's grossly a no, then the building inspector say, hey, no, that ain't gonna work. Or If the building inspector says, yeah, I know, I've read the ordinance, it appears like this is good, I'll put it on Tony's desk, here you go, because he's code enforcement.
So you could even say,
That would be my thought process with it.
like,
So
spell
you
it
just
all the way
change the
out.
word assist, issue to assist.
Well, but it's just the first of those 3 bullets, right?
It's really just the first one, first bullet of
Of
the
the 3 sub-bullets.
of the 3 sub-bullets.
Okay.
So assist zoning officer, or whatever.
Assist code enforcement with issuing signed permit applications.
You mean you could just take it out altogether?
Okay.
No, because you've got 2 specific jobs,
Yeah.
right? That's what we've evolved to with this whole reorganization.
Okay,
Okay.
then take it.
Good enough.
Good enough.
So we're gonna take it off now?
We're gonna take the signed permit off.
Okay.
So bullet 2 and 4 are gone. And the header is gone.
And then they'll just be bumped up under essential duties?
Correct.
Yeah.
I'd like to get it so she can clean up, email us, say yes, and get it in the paper.
Oh, yeah.
I don't wanna wait 2 weeks to
No,
okay this again.
no, and I think this is,
In dire need of some hours.
yeah. I think it's good. I think if we tighten that up, I think,
So, yeah, can we, because we can't vote by email, but we could delegate somebody to make a final determination, right?
well, I think once,
You
well,
could send it out, and we could reply yes.
I think
Well, I don't think we can.
well, no, I think if Naomi cleans it up, sends it to board members, and each board member respond individually to Naomi
Just to Naomi, yeah.
and say,
Well, can we
But then
vote
haven't we
tonight
taken-
saying as
amended.
revised or amended?
Yeah, I think we can do that as
Yeah,
amended.
I'd rather do that,
Yeah.
because then we're still taking an action as a
Yeah.
board, even if we
Oh, yeah.
reply individually, that's kinda,
Yep,
And then she can just send it over, and some reason we see a period that's missing, we can tell her, but we've already voted and said that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right?
Yeah.
that the content we approve. Yeah. Right. All right,
No, I just don't wanna kick this can down that.
is that pass the sniff test, everybody?
And then I guess we'll make a motion for that. Then we just need to put in the
The pay rate and the hours.
hours, was in there, I thought.
Yeah,
Hours
25.
of 25 hours at $30 an hour.
Oh, it's not in the.
It's not in the posting.
newspaper ad, no,
That's
no.
why I was talking, the posting.
Oh,
You're
I don't
We
have
moved
the
on to the posting.
posting.
All right,
Well, do you wanna make a motion for this, okay, then we'll jump to this and get done with it?
yeah, I'll move that we approve the building inspector job description as amended, May 22nd, 2023.
second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I think just the posting, I think the only thing we gotta do is just put in, well, I think the posting, all you gotta do is put in the hours
Yeah, so where do we wanna put
$30
them?
an hour.
and at 25 hours a week. I think that's all you gotta put in.
Where are we putting that? Or Naomi can do that without us.
25 hours a week and $30.
Position will be 25 hours a week.
Good enough.
Yep,
The other, thing, I did,
that covers the edits you got.
Yeah.
it says positions for code enforcement.
Period here.
Inspecting residential,
Yeah,
commercial
so
buildings.
are you taking code enforcement out of there?
Do we wanna take code enforcement out of the posting?
Actually, you could have code enforcement be the building code enforcement,
Yeah, I think that's fine. Yeah, if we just wanna put building in front of it.
or building code enforcement.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
It
Where's
quotes,
that?
it's
Building
quotes state
inspector.
building codes, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're enforcing codes.
So if we responsible for inspecting alterations, so if you take out code enforcement, then there's no confusion.
Right.
So it's responsible for inspecting residential, commercial buildings. And then is it and alterations for compliance? No, it's not, just left, I guess it
Compliance
reads
in
fine.
town, state, federal codes and regulations.
Where did you sneak in the hours and the money, Naomi?
I just put a part-time position of up to 25 hours a week for the building inspector, for the board of selectmen. And then professional experience in the building trade, and then you could sneak the salary in there, or the wage of $30 an hour.
yeah, I would say after the professional experience.
Full job description of the position and compensation.
And then just put it at one line before that, and then a full job description's available at.
Yeah, I like that.
It's like,
Sure,
I like that.
yeah.
That sound okay?
Yep.
Okay.
So you okay with that too?
Yep.
Yep.
Sounds good.
So you'll send those out right, Naomi, to us?
Yeah, saw on Wednesday maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah, all right.
yeah, on Wednesday, yeah, and that's fine, and like I said, we approve the content, so if,
We had some of it.
we chisel some of it.
I do have, I have to ask you guys to okay this so I
Oh,
can get the
okay.
guy to order the parts.
Okay.
I think I sent that to you in an email.
Yep.
Yep. All right, do you have that over there?
Yep.
You did get a copy of this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That was for the furnace downstairs?
Yep, still moving.
Move that number. And then you gotta approve me to sign it. There's only one signature line. That's why I'm handing it off.
And it,
You're just tired. I can't read it.
Hands cramped up?
No, I see it, there's only one line to sign, so I can't really make it.
Well, you authorized me to sign it, that's
I-
what you've done before.
so what are we author, moving? For her to sign it? Or to-
Furnace repairs
Okay.
for the total of,
I authorized, Bay Granite State Plumbing and Heating, $30,380 for repairing leaking copper boiler pipe fittings and some other parts on the boiler here at the town
Office.
office building.
do you wanna have Naomi sign or me sign it? It's up to you, I don't care.
Doesn't matter to me either. And to let either Naomi or Ricky sign it.
Second.
Second,
Perfect, all right. I moved and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
yes.
Aye.
Oh, yeah.
Before we get into a new heating season.
Yeah,
Who seconded it? Sorry,
Salem did.
Fabian.
All right. Since I got it, I'll just sign it. Anything else pressing before the board tonight?
Alright, I'll just make a brief mention of that last bullet, just for anybody who read the agenda is kinda wondering what's up. So the board had a meeting with town council Thursday to discuss some things. We discussed, kinda speaking roughly about the draft policy for reviewing and unsealing non-public minutes, and town council gave us the thumbs up for, individual board members to review those minutes, so it's, for your benefit and for the benefit of anybody listening, that's kind of where we are now. We will continue to work on that policy and procedure, with that understanding.
Okay, my only question, for this working session and how these have been added to our agenda, are we gonna leapfrog to this before we finish job description, solid waste ordinance? And we have another issue that hasn't been discussed in a while, but was slated to be discussed, and we were cited about a year ago now, almost to the day. We have, our used motor oil is in non-compliance with local, state, and federal law. And we need to address that.
When did we get cited?
What's that?
We got cited by the state?
No, we got cited by the job description we just wrote,
Yeah, I
our
remember.
local code. And we have, the previous board had talked about it numbers of times, and we have made small measures. But secondary containment is our biggest issue, and if in any year we're gonna be able to pour a pad with a curb on it, it's this year. So we're not covered by insurance if there is a breach in one of the barrels. And it's very expensive, and we're within feet of a wetland.
Yeah,
Where we're
it-
storing it, and we're
it
currently
has
at 6,000 gallons being stored outside.
What about what about the storage in the building?
That's,
There's none.
that's only what, 500 gallons, 1,000 gallons?
Oh, the tank's 1,000, there's
Yeah.
no storage.
But there's no storage inside.
Yeah, but the tank's full right
But the
now.
tank's full.
Right, and we have to store it somewhere outside.
But there's no storage in the building.
So this is.
No, that's what I meant. It's
so-
in the ground, but there's
Well,
no
we
second
need a
containment.
plan for this, because
It-
we are not, we need to, if there's any year we're gonna do it, it was, when we were working in a default budget, there was no extra monies. We knew we had the issue, but we now have a place, the building that you rebuilt is gonna stand the test of time. We have a space, we could do it, we just need secondary containment.
I guess I'm in favor of it, and maybe this conversation I have another night now, but I was looking to go to different measures and brought it twice.
I remember this.
I wanted to get rid of the used oil and go to pellets, and twice I got approved for, grants. One was to cover like 56,000 of $80,000 project, it's probably gone now. So I think that's something bigger topic, and maybe when we hire a director, but we went with used oil because the place processes it.
We have it.
We have it.
Cheap.
Yeah.
It is not, on a cold winter, that, you can't produce enough. So we have to get it from other places, and every little garage is now burning their own oil, but it stinks, that, not smell-wise, but it sucks.
It's
It's
maintenance
always
intensive.
dirty, yes, it's maintenance intensive, because of, I wanted to go to pellets, I previously worked with the shop mechanic up there, and speak with him every now and then, and to this date, Henniker has zero trouble with their pellet
With our boiler.
boiler up there, and there's none of this oil, and there are companies that'll come get it. I didn't quite get as far to see if they charge or pay as high of a commodity as they used to take it for nothing 100 years ago, but, I agree, if we don't do nothing, that we should have a containment. State always looked the other way for me. We had a little so-called inspection and get cited by the building inspector, but I asked the state what it was, and they said, I don't know.
It's in non-compliance.
'Cause-
We need secondary containment. You go to any other facility, they have secondary containment. The law reads, whether or not somebody is turning a blind eye, the law reads, we need the secondary containment. We're always gonna need secondary containment for hazardous material, as long as we take hazardous material. If we continue to take oil, we're gonna have to have a place to put it. It needs just a broader discussion. My biggest thing is, I just don't want
To lose sight of it.
to lose sight of this stuff as we're moving along. You know, I'd like to see the job descriptions complete in a folder, and it's done, and we forget about it. We're on a roll, we have it kind of down, we have a few more to complete, and we'd be done with that. So, and the same thing on the solid waste ordinance. We all are in agreement that the 1992 document is archaic and needs to be at least updated.
So what job description do we have with that?
I
Go ahead.
I wouldn't, I don't know one way or the other, so I don't know about saying we're all in agreement.
Well.
I guess the job
We'll quibble
description.
a little bit.
Well, let me put it this way. We agreed enough that we were gonna visit the issue
Sure.
and add it to the agenda.
Well, a previous board did.
Okay, but we can't discount that.
No,
Or
I
we
just,
need
I
to
just,
vote
I
that
just
we're
want to be
go-
careful about,
Yeah.
when you say we all think this, we haven't had that discussion.
Yeah.
This
well,
board, this particular board is.
What job descriptions now, if DPW is done, that are on,
We obviously have the foreman, we have
Sure.
number, the chart Beth presented us in our last meeting sort of outlined all of these key positions, right?
I mean,
I agree, there's some of them I think that we can shuffle around. I really don't think police chiefs needs to be number one right
Nope.
now.
No,
No,
I don't think we can do
I think
anything anyway with
I
that.
don't disagree with the secondary containment, does that need a big meeting? I mean, can Jay just move forth and do that?
Well, we have to say, yeah, okay, and it's gonna take a bit of.
Money.
There's different options, right?
And where's the money gonna come from?
And it's gonna have to come to us because
That's up to him.
it's probably gonna cost more than $5,000, but,
Right, but that's a project for him or whoever, if you wanna wait till you get full-time, whatever director.
yeah.
That's under their umbrella, I guess, if that's what we want them to do. I mean,
Well, I think,
and I think we need one. I still would like to get rid of the oil, not have 6,000 gallons. They come get it every,
but I think, I'm,
which would dictate, not cut you off, but dictate what size containment we have.
I'm a huge pellet guy myself, as long as my father is. But I think we, that's, to me, that's a town warrant. I'm not disagreeing with the fact that we move that direction. I think it's a good idea. But I think there's gonna be obviously a fiscal commitment we need to make, whether it's storage, whether it's, obviously changing the boiler over. I know there's a grant available, but it doesn't pay the whole thing, et cetera, et cetera. So I don't disagree with that. But we have a problem today and tomorrow and the next day.
I mean, can we kind of meet in the middle and ask Jason to go and investigate?
I don't think it would be out of the roundhouse for us to ask him to look at
Yeah,
it.
'cause that,
Yeah.
he'll do that hopefully before 2 weeks when we talk, even
Yeah.
possibly talk about it.
Yeah.
And ask him to look at.
'Cause the old shop had containment,
containment,
and we
yeah.
had bigger, it was different, we had bigger
Tank.
tanks in the bottom part of septic tanks, and that, as long as that containment can hold the amount of material that's in the tank,
That could spill, right.
it's fine. It just, it never really got there because it was, use it so fast.
Right.
in January.
Except in the summer. Except in the summer where it
Right,
sits,
so
yeah.
you're lugging barrels, so it was different,
yeah,
hadn't
and-
figured out an ideal way.
Yeah.
But to
I mean,
Kevin's
my-
point, we still need to be able to store anything.
Yeah.
At any
The
time.
reason I'm pushing this tonight is because this is going on now a year. We have a known liability to my constituents. We have no insurance to cover if the accident happens. We just heard a discussion tonight about equipment operators that aren't qualified, and that's all it's gonna take is one wrong move, moving a pallet of this stuff, and it's laying in the parking lot
Leaking.
leaking when we have somebody exiting and asking the question. And now we have Clean Harbors down there, and we got a $300,000 bill to clean up.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think the fastest thing we can do is ask the interim director to start coming up with
A solution.
data for us.
Okay, and with a set time frame. By the end of June?
I think
A
that's good.
proposed plan?
I think it's fair.
I
Yeah.
think that's fair, yeah.
I mean, well,
When I have the conversation,
can I get?
It's gotta go out to a warrant. I
Well,
mean,
no, this is
No,
just.
no, no, no.
This is
This is
interim
just
info.
containment, just information on containment.
Well, I was gonna ask about the pallet thing, because Benji was bringing that up. It just more info for us.
Right.
So instead of us start talking about this in 2 or 3 weeks, and then we realize we don't know
Lose it
anything,
again,
and then, like,
I mean,
Well, I'd be willing
I built the DPW garage with this pellet stove, and I installed a number of pellet systems and silos to heat buildings, and it's very viable, it's very realistic, it's it's gonna be, again, a $100,000, $125,000 project to do it, but in the meantime, we're gonna consistently store hazardous materials at our transfer station.
Right. It sounds
They
like,
can arrive tomorrow.
yeah, it sounded like Benji was going to get the information on it again?
I'll try again, I think
Okay.
grant money, it was $86,000 was the total bill last time.
Okay.
There's an outfit out of Peterborough. The guy is a genius, European guy, and he can come in and make a presentation to us, and we'll have a much better understanding. I just don't remember his name off the top of my head.
Yeah, we can, I mean, I did it twice and it just fell on deaf ears, so if we're not gonna listen to it. But I guess we're gonna talk about the oil containment, I mean, I had a couple ideas about it too, I think you get out of the drums, getting bigger tanks, and I'd be happy to talk, Jay Stu dealt with the used oil for 22 years.
I need more info, and I don't wanna cut him out.
No,
Right.
no, no,
Him being
no.
Jason.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah, he's been working on it. He's got signs now. We never had the barrels labeled. They have to be labeled by law. He's got them labeled. He's got a sign there, so if fire shows up, they know what's in those barrels. There's a number of things that are within so that we're in compliance.
Right.
It doesn't just end with secondary containment for a spill.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I guess, yeah, to Kevin's point, just don't want them to fall off, that's all.
Yep.
So what I was gonna ask of you, relative to these two topics, because we are way ahead after Thursday's meeting, I believe. I think a
On
lot.
the second one,
Yeah.
on the final one here, yeah.
Yeah, and, can we move the other, so that at some point, can we put these on a schedule? Are
So
these
so
immediate to you?
The second to last one, work on policy procedure for contacting legal counsel, that was spawned by
The
a citizen
presentation.
and
Yeah,
a lot of people,
right.
one after the other, and we couldn't answer the question. So that's, I do feel pressed by that. I do feel like it's pressing.
The legal counsel one.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to get a time frame, because, again, the other ones, the job descriptions I'd love to have done by the end of the summer.
Yep.
I'd love to have the solid waste ordinance done by the end of summer. Love to have Jason have a proposal just by the end of summer. Are you looking to have this done in 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks?
I mean, it wasn't on the radar before, it's on the radar now, right? So I think maybe we leave it on there for, like you said, I mean, if it spools into 2 work sessions from now, it spools into 2 work sessions from now.
Yeah, I mean.
And that's
we
4
keep-
weeks.
We keep adding it to the end. I feel like the last one is ready to, because there was more topic about it. I still need to email, I handed everybody paper copies of my first draft for the non-public minutes, but need to email that out. But yeah, still need to even write something for legal counsel.
Oh.
Did I understand what Mark told us on Thursday night, that anything we are going to release, the board is going to have to agree upon?
Yes,
Vote on
absolutely.
it.
Motion
Yep.
to release?
Yep.
And I asked you the question in a conversation we had. For instance, if I didn't sit in on a meeting, I obviously can't say that the minutes are correct or that I
Right.
and vote it to be released.
Well, the RSA, and I'm gonna paraphrase instead of digging through it, but it says, in the opinion of the majority of the board, that the reason that it was made non-public no longer applies. And so that is, the law knows that the board will have changed on 90% of these. So
Right.
we are empowered to do our
Make a
best.
decision.
Well, I think also too is with that, and I understand that's paraphrased, I think that because this board, the longest tenure would be me at 8 years, I think a lot of it may spool back to the town administrator. To say, well, no, what I'm saying is to put your input in, not work, to put your input in and just go, you know,
So there is a House Bill 321
yeah,
currently in 2023 session.
yeah.
And it says that the bill requires public bodies to review meeting minutes withheld from public disclosure at least every 10 years to determine whether they should be withheld. Minutes not reviewed after 10 years will be made public. That's a House bill that's working its way through.
And that'd be great, because that would take some load off of us,
That's 2013.
Well,
2013,
so.
from behind.
Yes,
in the rear view.
I love the more things public, the better, except what about the things that do need to remain non-public after 10 years? It's saying if you don't review them, you're on the hook to publicize them.
Right.
Well, I think we need to at least,
Review
You
them.
need to
Skim
go
through
through them
them.
because there's,
So, all right,
if
and
people,
I say that as someone who would prefer, 100% of it gets publicized.
But are we going back 10 years? Are we gonna start digging?
More than 10 years.
this
That's what
goes
that's what the
back,
bill
this goes
says.
back to the beginning of non-publics. Literally, the bill says release everything 10 years prior.
Well,
Yeah,
it
but,
says
I
that
mean,
if,
we're not literally gonna start,
I'm gonna go do it.
yeah?
Yeah,
you should be.
Well, this is gonna take a long time.
yeah.
Yeah,
This is gonna take a long time. My term will be over.
my term will surely be over. But I'm wondering if this board comes up, I hate to say it, with another meeting night just for that. Because we're never gonna get to them in this or our regular session. Ain't gonna happen.
You're talking about sitting down and actually reviewing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
It would have to,
Reviewing them, yeah.
it would have to be an off night.
Yeah.
You'd see, well, you'd have to have 12,
So, but in what I wrote up, and this was before the bill that Naomi was talking about, was basically somebody goes, and I figured that would be
A
me of this
designee.
board. Well, just like, for the fun of it.
Yeah.
And says, I think this one should be made public. And then that warrants the meeting that you're talking about. But like, get some piled up,
Right.
and then,
And have a batch. Have a batch to
Yeah.
review, okay.
But-
then we all have to, I mean,
We'd all have to consensus to kick them free.
and then any individual board member could go and do that thing. I'm not saying that it's only one
Almost like a
person can do that.
almost like a pre-screen.
Yeah. It-
Salem's saying that
that'd be pretty subjective, though. I mean,
Yeah.
that would be what would be of interest to that individual and.
Well, right, but otherwise,
Well, if-
all 5 people need to read all of them.
Yeah,
And
that's what I mean, bring
that's
them in,
fine.
stack them up, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah, well, or like, say, yeah, that's
So if
fine.
you, so let me ask
How
you,
many documents are we talking about?
I don't know, there's a box of them. I was handed a box.
I mean, how many you know how many non-publics?
So I
We
just have a
3 or
question.
4 a
So
week
when
here.
when you said, yeah, bring them in, stack them up, you guys could unseal them, pass them around, you could unseal them at that moment, right?
Literally, I think that's what it would take, right? Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what the process would be. It would be a closed door unseal of a batch of them, and we'd go through it and go, this doesn't apply, correct me if I'm wrong, and we put it on there, you know, I move that we unseal, you know,
Whatever.
So
1887 minutes.
And it's getting
know.
late, I'm sorry. The only thing I'm not sure is that a non-public meeting?
Yes.
Yes,
it
because
is.
you're
Okay.
you're unsealing.
I'm like,
you're-
I'm rolling around here,
We
like,
keep minutes, and then we'll have to
It's one of
unseal
the
those
letters.
minutes so they
In
can.
10 years,
Yeah,
somebody else can.
yeah. It's its own letter at the
It is
bottom,
its own
right?
letter,
It's
yeah.
it's its own letter, just to go in non-public under
But-
that
Yeah, and that's
unseal.
something Kevin and I
And
were
but we
chatting
will have
about
to keep
was-
minutes.
yeah.
That we unsealed them. Yeah.
No, you have to have your non-public minutes, and then you have to come out, and I think you're gonna make your
Yeah.
minutes, and then
Yeah.
those minutes becomes part of those minutes.
So,
That's what I'm like,
Except those don't need to be sealed.
so
We can have non-public minutes which are public,
Yeah.
because really there are three categories. There are public minutes, which are always public. There are non-public minutes, which by default are made public. And then there are minutes of non-public meetings, which are by default made public. And then there are minutes of non-public
They're
meetings,
sealed.
which you have to vote on to seal. Those are three categories, and we're only talking about the third.
right,
We're only
exactly.
talking about sealed and restricted.
So do we, okay, I think we all understand the process. So do we want to say, okay, we'll take, the pile will be the last 2 years? Want to take 2 years at a time? And we'll get rid of the first pile? 2 years worth?
It's probably,
it's gonna take you a while.
2 years is gonna be 60+ meetings.
Yeah, but
You know.
some meetings are gonna quickly say no harm done with, you know, I mean, half of the meetings that I've attended, there's no harm done in making
Yeah.
those meetings public. I mean,
So I
talking
get,
about Frank's raise, that's not gonna be any harm done, we just did it
Well,
after
we
the
won't,
meeting.
but we won't have sealed that one.
You didn't seal that
We
one.
didn't seal that one.
Exactly, okay.
Right. But, so sealed and restricted, we're probably talking in the last 2 years, probably 50,
Well,
30 to 50.
and I'll blurt this out, is we get squeamish, because we talked about somebody, and we
Yeah.
always sealed and restricted,
Yeah, I know.
you know? It was crazy,
Oh, I know.
you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is, but, so the board may, so I guess I'd have to look into the RSA. If the board deems that it's not unsealable information, then what?
It just goes back in that pile.
Okay.
And for the bill that Naomi's talking about, we will have reviewed it so that 10-year clock starts at zero.
Resets at zero, okay.
But 5 minutes per meeting, it shouldn't take, I wouldn't think.
About a couple hours.
So 12 an hour, 3 hours? We
Yeah, I
get
think it'd be fun, let's do it.
36. I'm ready to go. But I think that's the only way we physically can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Otherwise-
has to be a separate meeting, on its own, closed door, under that letter.
What night of the week are you gonna do
With
that?
coffee.
And lots of
Fall.
Well, I just
I gotta
saying,
write a
because,
policy
you've
first,
got,
right?
I mean, I love the idea of the policy, because that's, as we've all talked about job descriptions going
Yeah.
forward. That's from here, we're gonna do it, but we do have some catch-up to do.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, I don't know that you gotta hop the catch-up right to the beginning
Right.
and
No.
do hours on end, because there's, I mean, last week I was here 4 nights because of the video.
Is it-
Tomorrow night I have
can-
off.
Let me ask you this.
I'm working at it. I'm
Okay,
trying to
alright.
get but tonight I had to go at it differently
Yeah.
because it was shut off.
Okay.
You know,
just asked a
there's
question.
like, tomorrow it'll stay on, nobody's here tomorrow with it, but like for the ethics, it'll be on because I'm gonna leave it on. But if it gets shut off,
It's all,
it's
it's Jump Street.
different to get to the first step,
It's Jump Street.
which I
again.
think even Salem tried.
Yeah.
I got burned because I was sitting over there and I didn't flip the switch.
Oh,
Yeah,
so there's one step you,
yeah.
okay.
My
10-4.
natural,
Yeah,
yeah.
you,
It's like, of course somebody's done it, because
Your job, yeah.
So can I maybe throw this out there? Can we kind of set a schedule maybe at your next work session to
Yeah,
decide
I
on?
think that's a good idea.
I can try to get a count of how many you're talking
Yeah.
and see if you want to accomplish 20 of them, 25 of them.
Well,
It'll be towards the end of June.
so is it much, because part of the requirement is to have a list. So if you
Only
can
since
start,
January of '22.
how's
Only,
that?
that's state law since January of 2022.
For the list? That's not what the RSA says. It says you need to maintain a list of all non-public minutes, and the dates and.
Well, I'm not gonna debate it tonight, I'm already tired, so.
But my point is, if you're looking at them anyway, it'd be good to start working on that list, because we'll kill two birds with one stone.
But I think we're at a point now, she could get us a number to count, but to have her put everything and date it and make a,
Some are in an order list, but some are
right.
not.
But to add one more thing to her plate right now, I think is unattainable. Let's be real, I think it's unattainable.
I mean, I could get some counts for you, but it's not gonna be tomorrow
Yeah, it's not
or
gonna be
the
an
next
itemized
day.
list like we're talking, like, sounds like we're talking about. To say, hey, March 22nd, 2022, we did X, Y, Z, we did one. And I think that's just, it's too much at this moment in time, that's all. Just my, one opinion of one board member. I think she's stretched too thin as it is. And to put one more thing on it.
And we've gotta get the minute taker, we gotta
Yeah.
get, I mean,
And we got regular minutes.
we've
we
got
caught
some
up
pretty
on.
good interest in that job, just to
Well,
let you
yeah.
know.
I mean, I think we're looking at the end of June, early July, to have that special meeting.
I think so.
Kickoff one?
Is anybody going on vacation?
I don't plan on it. I got 2 days in June and then
Just,
midweek in July, mid-month in July, I gotta go to Pittsburgh again.
But was that, I mean, I think that is just realistic, just because of what we have, right? We're to June 5th for our regular meeting.
And we have to approve the
next
policy
one-
anyways.
the
June
next work
12th.
session is gonna be June 12th.
I love this
And
idea
that
of
work
policy.
session will probably discuss this and create the framework, which then puts us to the 17th for our next other meeting,
The
which then
19th.
puts us out to almost, and you're going on vacation anyway, right?
Maybe. I mean, that's the 12th. I'm frankly, I'm probably gonna drive separately, and so I can come here.
So the 19th would be a regular
Dedication.
meeting, the 26th is a work
Going
session.
Saturday.
July 3rd, we're still gonna meet,
Yeah.
unless somebody, July 3rd we have to, because you do payroll. And then, work session, regular, I mean, you,
But again, we, like Kevin and Salem said, we have to lay some framework out first. We
yeah, I
gotta,
think you did a great job starting whatever, you put it together, and then, I think after Thursday night, there was a lot of clarification.
yeah,
Yep, that was,
That was a great meeting.
that was a really great meeting, yeah, it was,
learned a lot.
yeah, so.
Okay.
We're talking about non-public minutes, and we had two, and even though they're public, we do have that 72-hour,
Okay, sorry,
just throwing that out
I
there.
know.
Okay.
Naomi, do you have all the non-publics, or does Maureen still have some?
No, she dumped them in my lap.
Really?
Beautiful.
The fence is up,
Why don't,
right?
why don't you
Fence still
put them
isn't up.
down here and let her do the
May 31st.
list and let Maureen, give Naomi a
I think that's where
break.
it should end up.
That- Yeah,
I think that would.
I don't know
give
when.
that
Naomi a
can, that
break.
can
I
be
don't know
a
when it's
request to the board of another public official.
Yeah, I think,
So they're still
I
on
think
hold.
that, you should do that.
I think that would be opposed.
I don't, well,
I
this
don't
board
know,
would.
but I think
Uh,
that's
the-
be a
the-
break.
We
for-
had another conversation.
the conversation,
It'd be a break.
the
for
conversation
Naomi.
over here is to request the town clerk to make said list to be in compliance with the non-publics.
And let her take them, let her take that over. You got so much to do, Naomi. You're buried.
So.
I'm not gonna comment.
That was the, so I guess that would be the request. If you want me to write an email to her, I can do that, it's fine.
It's up to you.
Okay, that, I guess I need some,
Or if you wanna delegate, I still need to get my dump stickers.
I delegate to Salem.
I
I gotta
keep
get
putting it
mine
off.
too.
and
I don't have
Perfect.
I've
mine.
gotta come in here.
All right, so I think, is the board in unanimous that we ask the, request the town clerk to do the organization of that?
Yeah,
As far as making a list of what's what?
yeah,
I think that's, yeah.
I don't care who does it.
yeah.
I'm okay with it. And delegate Salem to,
Approach her.
I don't wanna say oversee it, but facilitate it,
Coordinate it,
Sure.
coordinate it. I like that word, coordinate it.
right?
Okay.
And leave Naomi out of it.
Yep,
Yeah,
she's got enough on
Well,
her plate
she's
already.
not, she's not gonna get them back. I have too many things this week.
That's fine,
She'll get them back, but it won't be this week,
that's fine.
because it got dumped in my lap and they're locked up, so.
It's understood.
Yeah.
It's understood. So next week.
Yeah.
But at least Salem can strike the conversation,
That's fine,
Yep.
it's a holiday week coming up.
so.
yeah.
All right. I think we've made a lot of progress tonight. for a work session.
Yeah. Because it's gone over a little bit.
Hey, it says 8:30 plus. We're in the plus right now.
Oh, yeah. We're in the plus,
We're in the
hour and a
plus.
half ago.
We're in the plus.
How would we even be functioning
I don't-
without all these meetings?
Kevin, every time I think about the fact that we didn't do these work sessions before, it's like, how did we even function? I don't even understand. We didn't, not very well. I'll put it to that. Not very well. That's why we're playing catch up, like like we're out in the outfield, so. All right, anything else? While we're thinking about it?
On a lighter side, I went and purchased, I didn't pay for, I'm not gonna be paying for them personally, but 3 new barrels.
Oh, okay.
2 that had completely disintegrated, I took them out, redid them today, and put another one at the other end that never got replaced, so 3 new barrels, and then redid all the dirt in them.
So they'll be growing for the
They'll be
fourth?
ready for them to plant, and then, tomorrow I'm going up and do the Legion Hall, there's 4 there. But I just didn't have any more room in the truck to bring the soil and all that.
Very
So
good.
they'll be ready for Memorial Day.
Beautiful, thank you.
Are we gonna revisit this, or is this dead issue?
What is that?
The
The
housing?
housing, we got an email back.
Yeah, we voted no on it.
We voted no, but there was request for reconsideration, as far as a joint meeting with the planning board, Southern Hampshire Planning, and the Board of Selectmen.
When we fitting that in?
Well, that would be, because our June 5th meeting isn't
Is light.
up right now, so.
Right, and there was, and Salem did kick me an email,
We could always add
in-
in these other 28,000 pounds.
right, in opposition to that meeting, because we know what the end result is still. That was his point, we know what the end result is.
Yeah, I'm fine, just as long as we are all, everybody's in agreement that it's a done issue, and we can respond back to the person appropriately and to the planning board.
I think that the objective is pretty clear in that. And I'm not in favor of the objective.
Okay, well, there's.
But there's 5 members, so
Yeah, there's
that's
3, yeah, so we have a.
consensus,
me,
a
yeah.
consensus,
Yeah,
Well, fine with me, I mean,
We all voted the same way.
yeah.
I abstain.
You
He
did?
did abstain, yes.
Oh, because you hadn't read the material.
Well, I abstained because I didn't and when the request comes back is that I don't believe their understanding why they're presenting it is the same as we interpret it. There seems to be a discussion they wanna have. But if the board has voted and you're gonna stay with the vote, I'm good with that, we're a board. Okay, that's it, I'm just, again, I'm gonna figure out what goes in the shredder.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Well, I guess I'll make a motion to limit reconsideration. Is that
I don't think we
appropriate?
I don't think we have to.
Okay, great.
I don't think we have to. I think that the response can be that it was briefly discussed and the board is standing affirmed.
All right.
I think that's,
I think
that's pretty much the,
We'll open a can of worms, it'll be kind of like Mark said. The minute we open the discussion, we've lost the battle. Right,
so.
okay?
All right, I think I heard something from Sherry.
Seconded.
And seconded by Salem, so, and I'll